All right, before I start my show where I scream at clouds, meal prepping is a real pain in the you-know-what. And I don't care what anybody tells you, it's an incredible amount of work, and you're liable to make a lot of food that is very repetitive. So your big plan to eat well is pretty much submarined after week one. What if you could take all the convenience of meal prep, except you don't do a bit of it and no repetition? That's what Factor meals are all about. Delivered to you regularly, ready to go. You warm them up in some of the greatest tastes you'll ever have. You'll be like, how can this possibly be? It's a perfectly cooked, amazing meal without a ton of calories and all the nutrition and energy I need to live a healthy lifestyle. Let's face it, time is a factor. And if you're short on time, you aren't going to eat well. Forget the time factor. Forget paying too much for getting takeout food. How about something absolutely perfect, ready to go? When things get hectic, Factor is flexible. You can even change your order up every week with plans from 4 to 18 meals per week, or pause or reschedule your deliveries anytime. This is so set up for you, you're going to love it. Stress less over meal times in the new year. Factor's no prep, no mess meals, free up time otherwise spent shopping, cooking, and cleanup. No more wasting all that time. Listen, head to factormeals.com/Zane50 and use code Zane50 to get 50% off. That's right. Code Zane50 at factormeals.com/Zane50 to get 50% off. Factormeals.com/Zane50. Use code Zane50 to get 50% off. That's code Zane50 at factormeals.com/Zane50 to get 50% off. Do it. Hey, folks, I've got another highlight clip from the Lost Zane recordings. All those shows on 107.3 WBBL, I released them on my Patreon for you to check them out. Full shows from the radio days. Myself, Julius, and Ben Glaze. Now, the highlight clip that I have for you, we were kind of laughing and making fun of a broadcaster who goes by the name of Sergio Dipp. And he did had his debut on Monday Night Football as a sideline reporter, and everybody hated the guy. So we played the audio and kind of goofed on him a little bit. It was a good time. It's part of the full show that is available on Patreon. I release full morning radio shows from back in the day on BBL on Mondays and Fridays of the week. Part of what you get when you sign up for Patreon. Sign up for free for 7 days and kind of see what I have to offer. Maybe that's just what you need for all of the listening time that you have. patreon.com/Eric Zane. Enjoy this free clip right now. Somebody tweeted at me, hey, you have to talk about Sergio Dipp. And then I went, I don't know who that is. And then now we have a prep service that sends you like audio clips and things like that. And some radio stations read the prep that they send along, like a ream of it, cover to cover every day. And I saw the clip. It says Monday Night Football, Sergio Dipp makes his debut. And I go, what's going on with this guy? And Julius is like, I don't know either. I don't know what's happening.
And like I saw this morning when I woke up, so I was like caught up, but I still don't get why this is making the round.
Okay,
I have
so
no
then
idea.
I'll just introduce it to the audience the same way it was introduced to us. I then went and I played the clip, and it became clear that Sergio Dipp is a sideline reporter for last night's late game, which started in the 10 o'clock hour.
I think so. I think kickoff was scheduled for like 10:40.
Okay. For between Denver and the Los Angeles Chargers. As the game's getting started, they throw it to Dipp down on the sidelines, okay?
Beth, Coach, it's a pleasure to be with you guys here on the field from up close, just watching Coach Vance Joseph. From here, you watch him now on the screen. This diversity in his background is helping him a lot tonight. Quarterback at Colorado, defensive back in the NFL. And here he is, having the time of his life this night, making his head coaching debut.
Okay, I heard that, and I went, okay, the information coming in. Internet is talking about a guy. I don't know anything specific.
Right.
I listened to the clip, and I looked at you. I go, it sounded like a guy who speaks English as a second language, and we agreed.
Yes, that's the only thing I gathered from that clip.
And I thought he also sounded a little green, like a newbie.
Oh, yeah.
And,
nervous.
And I didn't really detect.
The more I listen to it, the more the words actually make sense. If you listen close, I know what he's saying, and it actually makes sense when put together.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was Ben's first moment on the radio. He did better than you, Ben.
Yes.
And like he does work. He works for ESPN Deportes and has for several years.
Yeah.
English is his second language.
29-year-old guy, and they're a little scraping the bottom of the barrel when it comes to staff at ESPN. So you've got Beth Mowins, who is the play-by-play person, lady. First time that's ever happened. Monday Night Football. I think that's
what I read.
Or maybe did I read first time since it's been a long time.
Yes, 30 years. I think.
Yes, ladies on there, and she is actually with Rex Ryan as the color commentator.
Right.
Again, let's listen to Sergio Dipp again.
Beth, Coach, it's a pleasure to be with you guys.
Beth, Coach, pleasure to be with you guys.
Here on the field, from up close, just watching Coach Vance Joseph. From here, you watch him now on the screen. This diversity in his background is helping him a lot tonight. Quarterback at Colorado, defensive back in the NFL, and here he is, having the time of his life this night, making his head coaching debut.
Ben?
I'm kind of waiting for him to say, and boom goes the dynamite.
Yeah, I got that too. Sorry. I don't know where that came in from, but I just felt like going clubbing. We all looked around the room. Why is that happening? That's what happens when you leave the computer potted up, and all of a sudden, let's dance. Let's dance with Sergio Dipp. Sergio, take it away.
Beth, Coach, it's a pleasure to be with you guys here on the field from up close, just watching Coach Vance Joseph from here.
Okay, so I didn't know what the big deal was, other than guy sounds a little unpolished. I said, hey, I think I'll look this up, and
I can't find anything. Nothing that makes sense.
Headline for the New York Post reads, ESPN sideline reporter melts down on Monday Night Football. Now, to me, when
New York Post. Thanks, New York Post.
I thought, well, the clip that I played can't be the meltdown. So I played what they provided, and it's the same clip of this fresh-faced guy, not a mark on his young face. His perfect Latino face is there, 29 years old, kind of a little bit unpolished, doing his thing.
He's debuting on American television.
He's extremely nervous, and I was shocked at how they're murdering this guy.
Yeah, melts down where?
It isn't a meltdown.
No.
If you would have spiked the microphone into the ground, I would have said he melted down, but he didn't do anything.
So this dude, everybody is murdering him. Now, this gets better because Dipp has done the best thing possible. And this is the big thing. He has rolled with it because everybody started talking about it because he wasn't that clean in his delivery. Mm-hmm. And so people started tweeting, and it caught on. It was trending. Like this one person writes, what in the world just happened? Some guy named Sergio Dipp appeared on the screen and uttered some words, not all of which made sense. By the way, what was he saying? He was talking about the coach's diversity in his playing in college and the pros.
Well, the coach was making his NFL debut, and the reason he thinks he's going to be a good coach, or the reason people think he's going to be a good coach, is because he played quarterback in college and defensive back in the NFL.
Right.
So he's well-rounded. That's what he said.
Yeah, I got it.
And he's very pumped up, and Vance Joseph seemed very pumped up that he was making his NFL debut.
This guy points it out, and everybody just lights him up. Well, Dipp, in a truly great move, screenshotted a Google search. So what you see if you were to follow Sergio Dipp at Sergio A. Dipp W on Twitter is his a screenshot of a Google search, and it says how to deal with fame. That's what he's searching because everybody was talking about this guy. How'd you like to be him on the sideline? And you just had that kind of weirdo, awkward thing. Right. And within minutes, you're seeing that's spreading like wildfire.
Yeah, do you think people in the crowd were like letting him know that, hey, dude, you're trending? or do you think he checked his phone in between hits and he was like,
probably.
Why is my name on Twitter?
If I'm him, I turn my phone off in case of a moment like this.
Oh, yeah.
because I would just start crying. I would just fall apart. I wouldn't be able to handle it. If anybody said anything sideways about me, if I was a sideline reporter, oh my God, it's over.
And I'm just watching the video. He doesn't look like he's melting down at all.
That's not a meltdown. He stumbled and bumbled to get started. No big deal. Really, as Beth Mowins, again, throws it to Sergio Dipp on the sideline.
Beth, Coach, it's a pleasure to be with you guys.
It doesn't help that that's a second language to him.
Absolutely.
Okay? And he speaks with an accent, so it's a little bit choppy and deliberate, as sometimes people do
and also,
when they speak that way.
Has he ever been in a stadium that loud? It said he used to play football in the Mexican League. I don't think the Mexican League gets that loud.
Okay.
Or let alone been on camera in a stadium that loud.
Yeah, and
it must be a little bit difficult.
It's a very, very grand stage. ESPN Deportes is fine, I'm sure, but now he's on ESPN on Monday Night Football.
Here on the field, from up close, just watching Coach Vance Joseph. From here, you watch him now on the screen. This diversity in his background is helping him a lot tonight. Quarterback at Colorado, defensive back in the NFL.
Yeah, he gets going. It was that.
Yeah, he stumbled at that.
And here he is, having the time of his life.
I think it's the deliberate words that stand out as strange, and the pauses at this point is what caught me.
Do you think the pauses towards the end, after he kind of seemed to somewhat get his feet, is because of the crowd noise?
Maybe.
I think he was trying to emphasize.
Well, he chops through it. It's not fluid when he starts.
Coach Vance Joseph, from here, you watch him now on the screen.
You watch him now on the screen. It was that robotic pacing that just fried the world.
This diversity in his background is helping him a lot tonight. Quarterback at Colorado, defensive back in the NFL.
Right there, the crowd picks up just as he starts to get a little rhythm going, and then he kind of dips back into dirt mode.
And here he is, having the time of his life this night, making his head coaching debut.
Screw that. Give the guy a break. I mean, that's not the easiest thing to do.
No.
Especially if that's his first time. 29-year-old guy, are you kidding me? I don't know how many million people watching him. What the hell? I can't even put 2 or 3 sentences together without sounding like a complete fool with 18 people listening. Hell, I could scream out the window and more people be able to hear what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's fine. Hopefully they give him another chance. He's fine. He did a good job.
And his response with the how to deal with fame, that's the way. That's rolling with it, and that's good on him. That's it, folks. The full show on Patreon, and you can try it for free for 7 days. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. That's all you have to do is get your free trial 7 days. You do have to put in a payment form, but you can very easily cancel it before the end of the 7 days, and you, of course, still get the 7 days. It's absolutely perfectly set up for you. All right. Thank you so much for checking this out. Till next time. Bye-bye.